Hey, Self-Seed family, welcome to the fifth and final episode of AI and Africa mini-series. Now, over the last month, we have talked about founders building against the odds, startups powered by AI instead of capital. We have talked about business models designed for 2G environments. And we even talked, I think, last week about leapfrogging legacy systems with local logic and global tech, right? So today it's a little bit different. I want to bring all of this home, yeah, because this episode isn't going to be just about the tools or trends. It's about you personally. It's about you. It's about the part of this journey that no one talks about on startup panels or even on LinkedIn highlight reels. The frustration that comes with all of this endeavor of building, right? So let's begin by understanding the weight of building in hard places. Let's be honest, being an entrepreneur anywhere is hard, right? But being an entrepreneur in Africa, that's a different kind of heavy, that's a different kind of hard. You're not just building your product, you are actually explaining why your industry even matters. You're fighting unreliable electricity. Sometimes you're patching mobile money APIs that break at random. Sometimes you're educating your customers and your investors at the same time. Sometimes you're losing hours of progress to poor internet. Sometimes, and in some days, you're actually feeling that thing inside you that it is easier to just quit, right? But here's the twist that I've come to believe right now. Constraints don't kill creativity. They actually fuel it. Constraints just fuel the creativity. The very thing that we complain about, no budget, no team, no tools, these are what will force us to work smarter, to build leaner, to focus sharper, and even move quicker probably in today's world. In simpler words, it's like frustration is not just the enemy. It's not the enemy of innovation. It's the birthplace of innovation. It's the birthplace of innovation instead of just the enemy of innovation. I don't know if you get that, but yeah, frustration is the birthplace of innovation. Now, time for a personal story, my own tension with all of these with luck. Now, let me try to bring this aspect closer a little bit so that you can understand. There have been moments where even this year actually, when I looked at what I wanted to build and thought, God, I don't have the power, the team, the tools, or even the reach for all these ideas. And I'm talking about stuffs like Scout Path Opportunities Hub that I'm still building, that I hope it is a valid idea, yeah? The Self-Seed podcast, this one that we are sharing content together here, that we are learning together through here. And even events under the OC brand altogether. And finally, the digital products that are still in my closed doors that I haven't launched yet. But somehow I don't have the power, the tools and all that, but I keep moving. Why? That question comes, why? I think it's because the pressure of the environment forces me to stop over planning and to just begin adapting. I have learned that no team, if you don't have any team, I can become resourceful. So I become resourceful. No funding, I prototype. No tools, I have tested AI. No roadmap, I build one from scratch. So what I used to call limitation before, now some sort of, I call it creative tension. What I used to call limitation, now I just call it creative tension. So let's go to the big part. Why are African founders built different? This is not their pride, by the way. This is just talking about, yeah. There's a reason why some of the most innovative products in the world are coming from this African continent. We have actually been forced to think differently. Yeah, it's not because we have capital, but because we have been forced to think differently. We design for broken systems. We design with low budgets. We design in multiple languages. We design under pressure. We design with urgency. I believe that is what produces a different kind of excellence. All that challenge that comes within the process is what produces a different kind of excellence. Not the polished tech crunch headline kind of, but I found a way when there was none kind of. And the one that where we say our grandparents will be proud, that kind of excellence. Yeah. Now, here are 3 ways for you to turn constraint into your fuel as well. If you're listening to this episode and you want to reframe frustration into innovation, here are 3 ways that I sometimes use. First is to ask, what's the simplest version I can launch today? It's just like, what's the simplest thing I can do today, right? Constraints actually force clarity because you then stop trying to build everything at once and instead you begin to focus on the core solution. For example, instead of launching maybe a full e-learning platform, you can start with WhatsApp broadcast, test your content and then build from there. I've seen people who have begun to create tuition centers to just teach students and now they have their own platforms. Yeah. And the second thing is to make the constraint the product. You can't afford human customer service, then what you do is you build a chatbot that responds via SMS, right? You can't afford Google Ads, then you can try to build community content that spreads. It's just reaches far more organically. You are limited to 10 MB of files per device, then you make an entire product a 2-minute audio course. In this way, the barrier becomes the blueprint. And then the third thing is to just try to celebrate progress, not perfection. And I say this more frequently. When we build with constraints, we have to begin to understand that perfection can paralyze us. But you should understand that every prototype shared, every user dashboard, every DM replied is progress. And so celebrate that progress. Measure what matters and keep showing up. Keep showing up, bro. Keep showing up, my friend. Keep showing up. Yeah, just show up and eventually it will account to something. So here's my final task for you as we close this AI and Africa series. Stop waiting for things to be easy. Just start building what matters anyway. Start building anything that matters anyway. Start building. Use the AI tools, use the wisdom in your story, use the pain in your process, because you are not just a builder. You are a blueprint of what's possible when faith, creativity, and resilience meet friction. So the tag Emmanuel E. Saitoti, if you have started something, if you have learned something, if you have redefined what was possible because of constraint, or if whatever, I just want to hear about it, my friends and colleagues and listeners and a greater family of the self-seeders. I want to hear about it, and I want to feature it in the podcast. I want to share these stories with the world. Let's show the world that this kind of innovation doesn't need permission, it just needs purpose. So thank you very much for working with me through this mini-series. You have made it through all 5 episodes. How founders are building against the odds, startups powered by AI, not capital, low connectivity, innovation, leapfrogging with logic. Leapfrogging with logic. My lord. Leapfrogging with local logic. Brothers and sisters, turning frustration, and then finally today we talked about turning frustration into innovation. I hope something in this series unlocked something in you, because that was my mission in this short series, to equip the next generation of African founders, not just with tools, but with courage. Until next time, stay rooted, stay hungry, and always stay self-seeded. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear all of this. See you in the next one. Ciao.